Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to NAUI's Dive Team Report. I'm your host, Greg Martin. You know, we've talked an awful lot about kids. We keep talking about kids here in the Dive Team Report, mainly because we know that kids are where the future of diving is and where the future of our love of the oceans will wind up. And we've talked with a number of different organizations that are doing wonderful things with kids. And we're going to keep that going this week. I'm going to have to ask Dave if he'll explain exactly what AquaGym does. Dave Smith is on the phone with us talking about AquaGym. Dave, thanks for being here and give me a rundown. What is AquaGym?
The AquaGym is a kids program that I designed about 7 years ago, actually. And the idea was to get kids off the couch, get them active, get them doing something. So I came up with a program that was designed for kids too young to get certified. We designed a program for kids 8 and up. And what we decided to do with it was not try to teach a lot of skills, not to do what most traditional programs do when they try to introduce scuba to kids, because they don't have the attention span. So we've developed a lot of different underwater games, everything from underwater basketball, underwater target games. We use Sea-Doo scooters, and we do a ring relay race using the scooters, and just a lot of things. The idea was to get the kids underwater, not let them think about what they were doing, but to have fun and realize how enjoyable it was and how easy it was to be underwater and to have scuba equipment on.
So, I mean, it sounds fascinating. I'm looking at your website here. Some of the courses and so forth that you have look like things that we should be utilizing for some of the more advanced scuba classes.
Well, I mentioned we started the program for 8-year-olds, and so far we have done a lot of adult versions of it, and we've had several people in their 70s participate in the program simply because it looks so much fun, it's so easy, and it's a great opportunity for them to see if they would like this, if they were comfortable underwater, if they could do this.
You mentioned, too, the fact that you don't do an awful lot of scuba education on the front end. About how much do you do?
Well, we actually don't do anything. And I've talked to people before about this. We have the equipment pre-assembled. And so we fit the kids for fins and for their mask, and we put them in wetsuits. That's part of the deal. And we put them in the water, and we help them put the gear on. We show them how to breathe out of the regulator, and we ask them to kind of bend over and put their head underwater and see if they can do that. Our next problem becomes catching the kids because they're off across the pool. It takes them no time at all to be comfortable with breathing through the regulator.
Yeah, I've ran into that many times in class when you have younger kids and they find out that they can do this and that actually it is pretty simple and they're gone.
Exactly. So now the challenge is, okay, what do you do with them? And you got to keep them moving. So we have an obstacle course that we designed. We build a lot of things out of PVC, plastic pipe, and we build some uprights and an obstacle course. They go through it and puts them in motion and keeps them moving around the pool, gives us an opportunity to check them for buoyancy and make sure their kick is okay, and gives them a chance to get comfortable breathing. And quite frankly, the next thing we do with them is we run them through that course again, and we play a game called Egg and Spoon. And the idea behind that, as much as anything, is to take their concentration away from the fact that they're breathing underwater and swimming underwater to concentrating on balancing this egg on a spoon underwater, and they totally forget about the environment. And you watch them relax, you watch them settle down. It just is a whole transition the second time they go through the obstacle course.
And then, do you have any idea about how many of these kids wind up going on into scuba certifications?
I wish I could give you an exact number, but we do run into kids all the time or parents that come up to me and say, our son got certified or our daughter got certified because of your program. That does happen quite a bit. I am not a dive shop. I specifically concentrate on this program, and I have presented this to some different dive shops as a leader to get students or to get customers in the door. There is this thinking about dive shop owners, I think, that they can't make any money off kids, and they don't necessarily market them as much as they should. Well, I can tell you this, that inevitably in every class we do, I have parents come up to me and say, my husband and I got certified in college or when we first got married, and now that the kids came along, we haven't dove since. And And now that Johnny's 8 and they're doing this, we'd like to get back into this. Can you give us a refresher? Should we start over? And then, can we teach Johnny to dive so he can go with us, or Susie, or, their daughter or their son? And so you get the adults with this. It is a junior certification anyway when they become 10. And so the adults are going to have to dive with them. So it's not a lost leader. I mean, it can be very profitable for you. The other thing that I mention to people is this. We talked today about customer acquisition costs. What's it cost you to get a customer in the door? And what do you spend in advertising and marketing and promotions or whatever it is you do? Well, the AquaGym, or kids program, is a way to get customers in your door, and they pay you to do it, because we do charge for the program. And in our program, I list our program as 2 hours long, dry to dry. From the minute they walk in until they leave again dry, it's about 2 hours, and we're underwater probably an hour and a half of that or something like that. And again, we try to keep them busy and we try to keep them moving. But, here's a program that you charge for, you make money for, and yet now you've got all the information to market to these people, and you've got many times parents, again, were certified to just haven't dove for a while. So it's a great way to get customers.
Sounds like a fascinating way of again, like you said, of wrapping the entire family and bringing that lost leader back into the dive experience. Now, your program is only available in a part of the Midwest?
Right. The program I do, I'm based in Ohio. We're landlocked. We're not a destination or anything like that. And for the last 4 years, we've run about 1,000 kids through the program each year. And that's not leaving my area. That's I'm actually based just outside of Columbus, Ohio. And that's the Columbus, Ohio area, right, in our suburbs.
Fascinating. And it just almost screams, Dave, it almost screams franchise.
Well, I've had people ask me that. Do you want to franchise it? Or someone who, license it? I don't know that I'm doing anything that anybody else couldn't do. I built all the targets and all the uprights and all the things we do out of PVC. Anybody can go to their home improvement store and put that stuff together. Then we use torpedoes for the targets, and I take medicine balls that have sand in them, and I open them up and I take some of the sand out, so they're just negatively buoyant, just the slightest bit negative. We use those for the basketballs, for the underwater basketballs and things like that. So it isn't anything that anybody else couldn't do. I don't know that who will. They're welcome to it.
It's an awesome way of getting kids involved underwater, and hopefully, as you said, you wind up with those that go on from there and then wind up, becoming certified divers, become dive masters and instructors and so forth. I'd love to be able to see and be able to track that. That'd be fascinating to see. Wish you all the best with the program. Sounds fascinating. If people have questions about it, can they give you a call?
Please do. You can email me at dave@theaquagym.com. AQUAGYM, theaquagym.com. And my phone number is on the website, and I can go to the website or email me either way. Answer any questions I can for anybody.
All right, Dave. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. It's an awesome program, and best of luck keeping it going.
Well, I appreciate it, Greg. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about it.
And if you have any questions about scuba diving, be sure and check out NAUI.org, NAUI.org. And of course, always drop by your local NAUI dive shop and discover the undersea world that we all know and love. And that's this episode of NAUI's Dive Team Report. I'm Greg Martin. Thanks for listening. I'll see you underwater.